Hey, at least Bocchi didn't collapse on the stage. At least she didn't collapse on the stage. Fantastic finale of Bocchi the Rock. I am truly, truly going to miss this series. Just Bocchi and Nijika and Kita. Kita, this episode was fantastic. It really warmed my heart to really see that Kita, who honestly has always looked up to Bocchi ever since Bocchi's been helping her learn guitar. I mean, this is somebody that has given her something that she really is grateful for. And it really does feel like this episode, especially with the whole stage performance, it was Kita carrying Bocchi. Bocchi's been helping her this entire time, and then finally Kita had the opportunity to help Bocchi. And that was just, it was too good. It was way too good. But no, great performance. Really fantastic play. Really good music. Really loved it. Really loved the beat of the song as well. It's nice that it's not just a very bare bones song. Like when you have a song that you can actually get to a beat and it's really kind of catchy, I think it kind of transcends just being a random rock song they throw on the stage. It was really good. But no, it was interesting because like the entire time they were playing on the stage, it really felt like Bocchi was struggling with something. Like it seemed like she would look up every now and then. So it was like that feeling of good. She's got to the point where she's comfortable enough that she can look out, she can see the crowd, and she's not freaking out. It really did feel like a huge step for Bocchi. But unfortunately, something going wrong with the guitar. She kept messing with it. As soon as I heard that little kind of twinge noise when she was kind of adjusting it, I'm like, oh no, something happened. And suddenly the string breaks, and I'm like, no, Bocchi finally got the courage. She's on the stage, and now something that's kind of beyond her control. I mean, you could argue that she over-tightened or something like that, but something beyond her control broke. And like I said, it was really fantastic. Kita just realizing that she's struggling with something. Well, I mean, it's not that hard to realize because Bocchi's literally on the ground. That she had to step up and take that point from Bocchi. And yes, if you think about it, it is Kita herself not really feeling like Kita's not that good. Like she believes in her own mind she's not that good. And so for her to take it upon herself to step forward in Bocchi's place, it's putting herself out there. And granted, I think she could probably play the worst and everybody would still cheer because it's Kita and everybody, there's a large group of people within that crowd that really love Kita. But she stepped out there and she took that opportunity to kind of give Bocchi a little bit of breathing room, which I really do appreciate. I mean, there was even a subtle touch at some point late in the episode where they technically show Kita has kind of always been watching Bocchi. It's kind of insinuating, showing her looking out the window and seeing Bocchi walking down the hallway before it transitions to the current time. Kita's always been watching Bocchi. So how much does that extend? It obviously seems like she's always kind of looked up to Bocchi, respected Bocchi, always wanted to reach out to her, always wanted to be her friend, whatever that is. Sure, hopefully eventually sometime in the source material or if we get a second season, we'll know. Random bottle grabbing and playing guitar for Bocchi. Interesting. But it was really great. Really fantastic scene. It was, like I said, there's a couple things that make this performance great. Like I said, a really nice, catchy song they put in here. Really loved it. And again, at the same time, having a little point in there that isn't just Bocchi freaking out the entire time. Bocchi complaining about her anxiety, which is fine. It did something different with it. Bocchi had the strength to get up on stage. Bocchi was suppressing her anxieties. She was performing. She was in the zone, but still she couldn't pull it off because of something beyond her control. And yet still coming up with something to push forward. And yeah, the emceeing part was fantastic. Calling out to everybody, showing off Nijika, calling out to Bocchi, actually having to correct herself because she called her Bocchi. But it was almost like Nijika was trying to, I guess, give Bocchi a little bit of bump because she's calling out to everybody, if you like this music, come to Kita, your vocalist, come to Kita, but also Bocchi. She's trying to get people to go confront Bocchi. She's trying to put basically you're in a crowd of people and everybody's talking to you and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's my friend. They're trying to push her forward so that she can meet people, which yes, technically doesn't turn out good. Like the one comment that we actually get from some students was them literally seeing Bocchi as the stage jumper, the crazy rocker girl. She's like, I immediately want to quit the school. But no, she walked up there and was like, oh, Bocchi, say something. And immediately Bocchi's like freaking out. Like, people with anxiety, they need to pre-script something. You can't just do that. So yes, her she looked down at the bottle and I was like, oh, okay, she's just going to riff a joke with the bottle. No, she's literally thinking about Hiyori. So she decides to jump out in the crowd, and yes, as expected, everybody moved. I knew immediately when she went to go jump, I'm like, everybody's gonna move out of the way. You're not in a rock concert. This is a school festival. That's nobody's gonna catch you. But again, following this, we're getting a little more insight. Like, this entire episode was Kita, and I ate up every single bit of it. More into Kita and the idea that she's still not confident in herself. Like, Bocchi's like, you're so great. You've progressed so fast. But she's like, no, it's only the rhythm. Like, she's good at getting up on the rhythm that they're doing. That was kind of like what they were having with their last performance. Was a lot of it had to do with the fact that Bocchi stepped forward and led them with the rhythm. She's been seeing for a while that Kita there's something off about her. But Kita herself is saying here, I'm not good at drawing people in. There's essentially nothing unique about me. I'm not the one that draws people in. She's just good at playing off of other people, which honestly is really fantastic. Her in a band is really fantastic that she's able to work with her bandmates. Again, that was the initial issue that they were having with Bocchi. She didn't play well with the rhythm. She wasn't in harmony with everybody else. Kita's sort of the opposite of Bocchi in that respect. But that's fine because Kita at least what she's saying in her own mind is that that's fine with her. As long as she can support Bocchi, which she looks up to, that's fine. I'll just support her and help her do better. Yeah, that's when we get the scene of the guys mentioning that she's a crazy rocker chick. But no, her apologizing to her dad was great. I just love this scene because, can we just say, it's sad that this is a thing. It's just sad this is a thing. Every time I see, like, family in an anime, it just feels so foreign. It feels so refreshing to see parents in an anime, but her apologizing to her father for breaking his guitar. And the entire time, little sister's on top of the dad, just freaking plowing away at his head, saying, let's play. But no, this is when we find out that, yes, the entire time that she's been Guitar Hero, she's been on her family account. I didn't know that was a thing. Yes, technically with YouTube and stuff, you can have multiple accounts under you, but specifically the father, knowing that she was doing well on there, started to monetize her videos, and so he's got a whole bunch of money to give her, like $3,000. It's great because he said it was a good and bad thing because, yes, he was reading the comments how she was lying about stuff, saying that she was going to karaoke. I play this at karaoke, and oh yes, my boyfriend likes it. Oh, that was bad. I kind of wish there was a little bit more reaction of Bocchi in that whole regard. I mean, she's upset, but at the same time, I just like go off this whole thing about her boyfriend and stuff. Of course, the father just thinks that he was just playing so hard that she broke it, which is super rad. Again, they never got into really what his popularity was. I was, again, really expecting him to be somebody that Kita or Nijika looked up to. And yes, we get Super Saiyan Bocchi, which was interesting. Her being invigorated, this idea, I now have money, I can quit my job. Like, she just won the lottery. Like, oh yes, now I can just quit my job. I'm gonna call my boss immediately and tell him all the things I've wanted to say about it. And, cannot say a single thing to the manager. I'm gonna work really hard going forward. And the logic here, when she's confronted, she says that, oh yeah, if I buy the manager an instrument, maybe she'll let me quit. Like, what is the correlation there? But no, really cute seeing them go to the musician store and looking at instruments. For some reason, Bocchi suddenly is panicking about being confronted by a store clerk, so she decides to go in there headbanging. Cute little comment about Nijika feeling left out because she's the drummer and everybody else wants to look at the guitars. And another really fantastic moment with Kita having to ventriloquist Bocchi in order for her to talk and buy the guitar. Saying something about how Kita literally kind of can talk for Bocchi at this point. But yeah, nice little send-off at the end with everybody walking off in the sunset and Bocchi talking about being off to the grind. It was really cute. Really did love it. Love seeing Bocchi finally having her own guitar. Like, she has to apologize to the old guitar. It was cute. Definitely a significant amount of growth in Bocchi with this last episode. It feels like a really solid end to the series. Yes, I would love to have more. Would love to have another season. But for now, really nice send-off for it. I think for the most part, this series did a really good job of really kind of giving enough to each one of these characters. And like I said at the very, when I started covering the show, really do like the fact that it doesn't really feel like these characters have to have everything revolved around the band. They all have their own lives. That's why I don't think you really get to see too much about them. It just gave you enough to really see them as friends within a band itself and how they really kind of support each other. And yeah, it took me a while. I was listening to the ED and I'm like, wait, I recognize this song. I couldn't place it. I'm freaking out. And then finally, oh yeah, Asian Kung Fu Generation. Really fantastic song. I've listened to that song a million times. But yeah, great finale. I'm gonna definitely miss this series, but it was really excellent all the way through. Definitely appreciate everybody's support and watching my videos when I finally decided to start covering this show. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully within the next week I'll have a review put up for this series, and I hope you guys will check that out as well. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure to hit that subscription button so you can get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. We also have a membership button where you can join on YouTube. I definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.